Bert Cooper's cut man to take some of the grease off of his right eye.
You may remember before the fight, fellas, that I said that sometimes we're surprised by these kinds of fights because it's not as easy on the champion as we anticipated. And this is sure one of those times.
First time I've seen Evander with a little bounce in his legs, though, is when he came out of the corner, Jim. But he's right back inside again. Now he's bouncing a little bit. He can punch and move. He punches and waits for the receipt.
Exploding right hand by Cooper to the body. Holyfield again with the uppercut.
And a punch. There goes Evander again. Anytime he lands a punch, he stays still and waits for the receipt. Waits for the guy to hit him back. And
Cooper is hitting him with left hooks and sneaky inside right hands.
You know, Evander Holyfield always had a problem with stamina in the amateurs. It's never really showed in the pros, but in this fight, he seems to me like he's a little weary.
Well, one thing you know for sure, gentlemen, regardless of what happens from here on out, some of the writers here are going to write tomorrow that if Evander had fought this way against Mike Tyson, he'd have been knocked out.
Or he may have knocked out Mike Tyson.
That's possible, too.
I mean, do you think Tyson could take those uppercuts that Evander was nailing Cooper with?
The cut is not opening up on the right eye of Bert Cooper, and I mentioned the name Eddie Aliano. As you watch that cut throughout the fight, remember that Aliano is one of the best, if not the best in the business at closing cuts.
That's so important, Jim, to have somebody in there that doesn't panic, knows what he's doing, keeps the fighter in the battle. There's that.
Oh, what a right hand.
But they're coming fewer and a little more far between.
Cooper tried the body shot uppercut tandem. Didn't work. Now Evander lands another right uppercut. The heart and will of Evander Holyfield. Much celebrated, but tested tonight. Holyfield has not been knocked down since an amateur fight in 1979. He did not go down to the canvas tonight, but it was scored a knockdown by the referee. And we are halfway through.
Let's go. Hold on. Check it out. What they got on him is burning my eyes. Tell the referee. Tell the ref. Hey, ref! Come here. It's burning my eyes.
He got some kind of ointment that's burning his eyes, coming off his body.
Burning his eyes.
Get that stuff off his head.
There you go.
He got an ointment on his Get inside and dig that body. And do the Tyson inside.
We're around here.
7. Take and pick your shot. Dig.
There you see punch stat numbers. Tremendous number of punches being landed in this fight for heavyweights. Now, earlier we talked about the cut glove. Now we're talking about ointment in an eye, which goes back to Ali listed 1. Although that wasn't exactly ointment, it was an acidic substance. So we're getting a little bit of everything. We're getting some boxing history in front of us. Let's see how the boxing history winds up.
And here's the odd consistency, Larry. Every time in the last 30 years that a man named Cooper has challenged for the heavyweight title, there's been a cut glove. Another uppercut.
I'm surprised that Evander Holyfield isn't using the jab a lot more, Jim. When a guy gets tired, it's easy to hit him with a jab. Guys always start out jabbing, and then later on they forget all about the jab. Now is the time when he can use a good stiff jab.
Cooper with 2 overhand rights, and Holyfield lands another uppercut. You're right, he's almost abandoned the jab for the time being. I wonder if he's embarrassed enough in front of his hometown fans that he wants to score a knockout.
He'll be more embarrassed if he gets hit with a couple more of those right hands and goes down. The opportunity to jab is there. You can see it. Bert Cooper's walking right straight in a straight line.
Oh, what a bomb that uppercut was. But Cooper keeps coming back. There's another one. Cooper grinning again.
Evander has to be saying to himself, what's holding this guy up and how much more energy can I expend?
Do you question his punching power?
Well, Ray Mercer was also supposed to be a good puncher, and I saw Cooper do exactly the same thing with Ray Mercer, so maybe it's the fact that Cooper can really take a great punch.
What a turnaround that would be for Bert Cooper. I saw him quit against Reggie Gross in January of 1986, his first loss after being hit by 1 punch.
We should point out, Jim, that in those days he was on drugs. He wasn't training seriously. He really was going down the tubes, and Joe Frazier, his original trainer, claims to have quit him because of that.
And Bert Cooper landed some very effective punches to the body in that last exchange. And when a guy gets tired, those body punches can become very, very effective.
Well, for a while after that 3rd round flurry, Cooper didn't go to the body at all. But he started to do it again. But now Holyfield rips another uppercut, and Cooper standing stock still.
This could be it now.
Only 15 seconds to go in the round. Not much time for Evander. Cooper staying right there. Target practice, but he's not going to get him. I don't think he's going to get him. Mills Lane has seen enough. Mills Lane stops the fight.
And I thought it was a very good move on Mills Lane's part.
He couldn't have known what the time was. It's probably about 2:58 or 2:59.
Doesn't make any difference, Larry.
But he was taking too much punishment. He gave a gallant effort. That's enough.
I agree. I thought Mills Lane did a remarkable job. He stepped in exactly when he should have stepped in.
One of the best in the business, Mills Lane.
Well, I'll tell you, if Damiani had been the opponent, we wouldn't have seen this many punches if they'd have been here for 50 rounds.
They wouldn't have seen as many punches landed as if they took the Queen Elizabeth over and fought on the boat all the way over.
Well, gentlemen, thank God for Bert Cooper.
Although I don't know that Evander Holyfield is saying that right now.
What a battle.
You know, Jim, in the old days, if a fighter put up a performance like this, the promoter would sometimes be generous and give him a bonus. Do you think that Bert Cooper earned a bonus in this fight?
Bert Cooper, who's never made more than 100 grand, is getting 750 tonight.
Well, no, he's getting closer to between 4 and 5. Let's take a look at this impressive barrage, this fusillade of hard punches at the end of the round. But his bonus will be the fact that he will get more fights against some of these young heavyweights.
And look at Mills Lane. He's right there, has the action right in front of him, the way a good referee should. Right on top of things.
Yeah, and this, incidentally, as we watch this from another angle, is a homecoming for Mills Lane. The mayor you see there, he's from Reno, of course, but he is originally from Georgia, from a prominent family in Georgia. He came here to show his stuff, and he came through.
And so did Evander Holyfield. In desperate trouble in round number 3, challenged in a way that few expected him to be challenged by a Bert Cooper who showed heart and will and courage and a heck of a right hand. Holyfield demonstrated that the well-publicized heart is by no means overestimated. He came back from adversity, took over the fight again, and banged Cooper out of there.
Jim, it was just an absolutely great performance by both fighters. You have to remember that Cooper had Holyfield on the edge of right on the brink of a KO. It looked to me that any second Holyfield could go, even after he made that rally back. Cooper was still dangerous, and he still had Holyfield in trouble.
And this says it all. Mills Lane with the sympathetic nod to Cooper like, yeah, you were great. But that was it. And right now, let's go to ring announcer Michael Buffer for the official particulars.
Ladies and gentlemen, before I give the official time, how about a round of applause for a young challenger here tonight who showed a great amount of courage and fighting heart, Bert Cooper. The official time, referee Mills Lane steps in and stops the bout. 2 minutes, 58 seconds of the 7th round. The winner by TKO, still the undefeated, undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Evander Real Deal Holyfield.
All right, let's go to Larry Merchant with the heavyweight champion of the world. Larry?
Evander, congratulations. That was an easy one.
No, it wasn't easy at all. Bert Cooper was very game, and for a guy to jump in there not too long for a notice, he fought his heart out, and I have to commend him, for wanting the title.
Did you jump on him early instead of boxing because you felt that he couldn't be in good condition?
But not at all. Bert Cooper, the type of guy, once he get the momentum, it's easy for him to stay in there. My strategy is to go out there and try to frustrate him from the start, try to make sure is he in condition to jump on him where he has to use that energy early and not just coast through the early rounds and have something for the later rounds.
I guess the real thing we all want to know was how badly were you hurt in the 4th round?
Well, I wasn't hurt badly. I don't know how bad one could be hurt. He hit me with good shots, and I guess it would be quite common if you get hit with consecutive punches like I got hit with at the time and the point of recovery.
Well, Evander, you were reeling around there almost like you didn't know quite where you were.
I feel that I had everything together, but when you get hit with a good shot, it's not like you can bring your body back together like you want to. My mind was there, and I realized, that he hit me with a good shot, and I was trying to keep him getting hit with another shot, but I guess at the time didn't have control of the whole body at the time.
Did your conditioning get you through?
Sure. Well, yeah, conditioning is a big part of it. Conditioning is when you get hit with a good shot and you're able to come back as quick as if I did.
You threw a tremendous number of uppercuts in that fight that landed. How did he take those punches?
Well, I feel that when you're in a situation with Bert Cooper, don't take nothing from him. He got a lot to gain, and by coming out and taking the fight on the short notice, he was geared up and he came out to fight and wasn't taking nothing for granted.
Were you trying to be too impressive in your hometown, trying to get him out of there too fast, do you feel?
Well, not at all. I went out there and I did what I felt that was right at the time. I boxed him and he got in there to make it more of a brawl. I couldn't get away from it fast enough to use the boxing tactic because it was early in the round. It was just brute strength. And he was strong enough to force me into fighting a more of a brawling type fight right then and there.
It didn't really look like you ever boxed him the way you said you would box. You indicated you were never going to get in one of those slugfests again.
Well, you go into a fight with a thought of playing. Well, I'm gonna box this guy, but he was aggressive enough to put me in a fight that I didn't want to be in. But I was forced to fight that fight. That he would still load the rounds.
All right, let's look ahead now. You've been in the gym for almost every day for 3 months. What are your plans? Are you going to just wait to see the outcome of Mike Tyson's legal difficulties before you get back in the gym? Just how are you going to go about it?
Actually, I would like to go back and rest. I truly believe that been in the gym a long time, struck a little starch out, but I need to rest and get myself back mentally and not worry about Mike Tyson problem or anybody else problem right now. Just get plenty of rest and be ready for the next fight.
Just one quick question to Lou. Do you think that you're just going to go on ice now until Tyson's difficulties are resolved?
No, we manage and train Evander Holyfield. He's his own man. We're not going to wait around for Mike Tyson. When Mike Tyson becomes available, we'll be glad to fight him the following day. Up until then, he's going to do his own. He's going to do his own thing.
So there is a chance he might take on another opponent before Tyson.
Absolutely. Now we're not going to just sit around and wait for Tyson. We'd like to fight Tyson tomorrow if we could, but if he's not available, then we'll go on to somebody else.
I don't really think you want to fight Mike Tyson tomorrow after a night like this, but congratulations, Evander. Back to you, Jim and Gil.
All right. Thanks very much, Larry. Gil, time to